Hello and welcome to School Matters. Thanks for joining us today. On our program today, we are talking about the Cleveland County Schools Educational Foundation that does some wonderful things for our Cleveland County students. We have the president and vice president for the Educational Foundation. On my left is Mr. Jamie Davis, the president, and on my right is Mr. Ben Cabness, who's the vice president. Thank you both for being here and for talking to us about such a wonderful organization. So if you don't mind, we'll just start with you, Jamie, if you don't mind kicking things off, and just tell us a little bit about what the Educational Foundation is, when and how it all got started.
Thanks, Rhonda. It's a pleasure to be here today. This foundation was created in 1986. The Board of Education created it as a not-for-profit to be able to raise money and support some special projects within the school system. Do a lot of different things we'll talk about as we go on. I do have the pleasure currently of serving as the president, but Dr. George Litton was the original president from '86 up until 2022 when I took over. And you know, Dr. Litton's just kind of a pillar of the educational community here, and served us with great wisdom and vision for many, many years. We wouldn't be where we are without him over the years, so I always like to throw out a nod to him. Of course, lots of great board members over the years. I won't name any because I'll forget somebody, but anyway.
So, and Mr. Cabness, you're the vice president currently. Talk to us about the vision and the mission for the Educational Foundation.
Yeah, Rhonda, pretty much our mission's pretty simple. We're here to promote learning, celebrate success in the classroom for teachers and for students. And one of the biggest things we do is we raise money and we give it away. And everything we do is to support Cleveland County schools and all the missions that they're trying to accomplish.
Okay. Jamie, talk a little bit more about some of the activities and programs.
We do many, many things and have done other things throughout the years that kind of ebbs and flows, but we've done robotics competitions and geography bowls and things in the past, but currently some of our biggest and best things are the Heroes and Agape Banquet. I'll let Ben talk a little bit more about that because they sponsor it. And we also do a really good thing, we honor all of the teachers' assistants, bus drivers, custodians. We have a big banquet at the beginning of the year, and they're voted on as teacher assistant of the year, for example, and have a very nice dinner for them, and they get some very nice awards sponsored by the Brinkley family, and it's just a really nice event. One of my favorites, and I think one of the ones that most of the teachers would tell you is their favorite, is where the seniors at all the high schools get to pick a teacher that had a great influence on their lives growing up, or in their educational lives. Might be a kindergarten teacher, might be the high school teacher, anywhere in between. And they get to honor that teacher at a very special banquet. The teachers will tell you, no matter what accolades they get, if they win that one, they really feel like they've accomplished something. But anyway, Ben, tell them a little more about the other ones there.
Yeah, to your point on that, it's always fun to see a retired teacher who's been out of the profession for 10, 15 years, and they have somebody that they taught all the way back in kindergarten. So that's really cool.
That is cool.
But my favorite one that we put on, in addition to the Senior Scholars Program, is the Heroes Program and the Agape Awards. John Laughlin and Kim Laughlin chose to sponsor that years ago. And my wife and I, we continue to sponsor that today. My favorite thing about the Heroes Program is it really shines a spotlight on students who have gone through a great deal of adversity, have overcome some obstacles, and it really just puts into perspective what some of the children in our school systems go through on a day-to-day basis. So it's just so much fun to let them have their night, let them have their platform. Secondly, on that night with the Agape program, really highlights the teachers who go above and beyond, the ones that realize that if a child's physical needs and mental needs aren't aligning, a lot of times it has something to do with something outside of the classroom, right? So they realize that without their physical needs being met, emotional needs being met, it's really hard to learn. So they really go above and beyond, and it's just a night to highlight them. It's so much fun.
Yeah. You want to address, what an impact on our community. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Sure. All told, we probably reinvest around $300,000, maybe a little more than that, each year currently. That has grown significantly in the last couple of years. The bulk of that goes into the scholarship program, which is really our biggest thing. We'll talk about more. That is our single biggest event. Each student from each high school that has a 4.0 and is in the top 20% of their class gets to come to a banquet out here at the LeGrand Center on campus and gets a voucher for a $1,000 scholarship. And we're very, very pleased that a couple of years ago we were able to move that from $500 to $1,000 because of inflation and everything else. So that one we gave away a little right at $108,000 last year. I'm sorry, I can't remember exactly, but it's generally the last few years been in that 100,000 plus range. So quite a significant impact.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Ben, if someone is watching and they want to get involved and partner with the Educational Foundation, how can they make that connection?
That's a great question. We have resources online. You go to Cleveland County Schools website. We have our own page there. It tells you how to get involved. We're also made up of a all-volunteer board of individuals across our community who you couldn't ask for a better board. And all kinds of different folks in certain pockets of networks around the county. Our website will show who is on that board and on some of our committees, and you can reach out to anybody there and get involved. And if you don't reach out to them, trust me, we'll come find you at some point.
I understand.
One thing I'd like to add to
Yes,
that,
please do.
we wouldn't exist without the support of the local school board and without the support of the staff, especially in the superintendent's office. We, as Ben said, we're all a bunch of volunteers, and we don't mind coming in and begging for money or judging math fairs or whatever we might be able to do. But day in and day out, the administrative functions are handled there at central offices, and we wouldn't be able to exist without that support. So a special thanks to the school board and to the administrative central services office for all that they do to allow us to be able to serve this way.
Yeah.
But one person you can reach out to in particular at the central office would be Ashley Hooks. Feel free to reach out to her anytime. She'll point you in the right direction.
Great. Thank you for that. So how do you define success for the foundation? How do you know you've been successful? How would you define that?
That's easy for me, very easy for me. When you go to an event and you see a third grader who just lost her parents in a car accident last year and is making straight A's, and you see the grin on their face when we give them that award, that is success. When that senior walks across that stage at the A. Mickey Church Scholarship Banquet and you get to shake their hand and their mom and dad are sitting out there just beaming, that's what it's all about. If you ever get involved, you'll be hooked. It's an adrenaline rush. I mean, every year at that banquet, I always say, I sound like a broken record, but I say, this is one of the best nights of the year in Cleveland County. I wish everybody got to see it. So.
That's great. Well said. Do you have anything to add to that, Ben?
Jamie nailed it for the most part. Just the smiles. I have so many people come up to me after these events. They're like, wow, we had no idea that you guys put this on. And one of my favorites is to see a teacher, as Jamie mentioned, teachers, the best ones get so many awards. And when they're awarded by a cream of the crop senior who picked them out of all of them that made an impact on them, that's special. So that's success for me.
Okay. What about challenges? Challenges the foundation might encounter over the next several years?
Well, I've been involved for 20 years probably now. I'm getting
Wow.
old. Finances always are a challenge. I mean, we ebb and flow with the economy and honestly with who's willing to serve. You know, we've had better boards and never had a bad board, but we've had better boards that raised more money. We've had to dip into reserves back during the '07 crash was really interesting times. Thankfully, right now we're on pretty good footing, but you know, the sky is the limit when you're giving. As I mentioned, we were able to go from 500 to 1,000 a couple of years ago. I would love to see us go to 1,500, 2,000, 2,500. You know, these colleges are getting expensive. These kids need a lot of help with scholarships. I would also like to see us expand our programming, reach more down into elementary schools and do more things that could supplement their learning opportunities. So the challenge is for us to not get stagnant and to think more visionary into the future, I think, as with any organization. So.
Well, Jamie mentioned the future. Ben, what excites you most when you think about the future of Cleveland County Schools Educational Foundation?
It's exciting for me because Dr. Litton asked me to be on this board in 2014. At the time, I was the youngest one on the board. I'm starting to see that next wave of folks who have been recipients of the scholarships, been recipients of certain awards that we've put on, come back and be a part of it. So I love to see the new blood come in. We have so much to learn from those people that are at the table with us, and the visionary ideas of new programming. Because to Jamie's point, we do a lot as it is, but there are so many other things that we can do. And one thing that does excite me very much is we were very, very cautiously optimistic when we decided to raise our senior scholarship from $500 to $1,000. There's always the economic hurdle on the other side of the horizon, and our community absolutely answered the bell. We've raised so much more money through new donors who want to get involved, and it's just so exciting and so encouraging to see our community step up and really invest in the future of our community, which is our students.
That's wonderful. Well, you have you've both shared so much good information and encouragement. Is there anything else you would like to add as a final note before we take a break? Anything we didn't cover?
I'm getting kind of famous for this. The number one reason people don't give you money is you don't ask them. So consider yourself asked. Send a check to 400 West Marion Street to attention Ashley Hooks.
Very good. Anything, final words?
We will gladly take your money, as Jamie said, but absolutely. We'd always welcome new donors and new people that want to get involved. So
Service
look forward
on
to
board
working with
too.
you.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for what you do and for so long.
Yeah.
We just appreciate you very much.
Thank you,
All right.
Rhonda.
Thank you.
Stay with us. We will have more right after this.
I understand. I know it's not your typical resume.
Okay, well,
But candidate. But I've been working double shifts just to pay for books. I've been raising my 2 little brothers. I'm determined, driven, motivated. Isn't that what you're looking for?
Look beyond the resume and discover new ways to develop great talent at gradsoflife.org.
Welcome back to School Matters. On today's program, we're talking about the Educational Foundation for Cleveland County Schools, a wonderful organization. And our next guest with us is Chip Church. He's a contributor to the foundation, and he's also here to talk about probably the biggest event and program related to the Educational Foundation. So we're going to talk about that a little bit.
Great.
So thank you for being here. We appreciate that so much.
Thank you for having me, Rhonda.
So as we already know, each year at the Senior Scholars Banquet, students are awarded the A. Mickey Church Scholarship. Talk about Dr. Church, talk about your relationship, just give us a little bit of background.
Yeah, sure. So my dad was the superintendent of the school system here. And before we get to that, I want to tell you a little bit about his story, though.
Okay.
He started out in education in an interesting way. My grandmother told me this story that when he was a senior, they had a counseling session with his parents, my grandmother and grandfather, and they sat down, and in front of my dad, they said, we don't think that Mickey is college material, so we would encourage him not to pursue further education. So my grandmother didn't like that a whole lot, and so she told my dad that she believed in him, that he thought if he wanted to pursue his education, that she thought that he could do it. So he enrolled in a 2-year college at Mars Hill, where he got his 2 years in education, and then he went on to Appalachian State, got his undergraduate degree there.
Great education school.
Great education school, one of the best in the state.
That's
Go
right.
App State. And then from there, he ended up going back, and he got his master's from App State. And in the late 70s, he attended Duke University and got his PhD
Wow.
at Duke. So it turns out maybe he was.
Maybe that
education
counselor
material.
didn't quite
Yeah.
have
They
it
didn't quite
pegged.
have him nailed. Yeah. Yeah.
That's wonderful. So talk about what was special about your dad. Give us a little bit about his legacy.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he was special in a lot of ways, not the least of which was he was my dad, and we spent a lot of time out on the golf course together. That was one of his passions. Also in his woodworking shop, he loved woodworking. He built a street rod when I was in high school, so
Oh, wow.
redid a 35 Chevrolet 3-window coupe, along with some help from some other guys. So he had a lot of different passions. His faith was really important to him. So that was something, a gift that he gave me as I grew up and started my own family. But my dad always, I think, kind of considered himself a little bit of an underdog. And maybe it was because of the experience his senior year with that guidance counselor. But he believed in education. He believed that education could enhance the lives and the futures of the students that were in his care. He was also a champion of the underdog, and he really worked, I think, tirelessly to help those that had special challenges, maybe special disadvantages. That was something that I think was really near and dear to his heart. And then he also appreciated the teachers and his staff. I know, I think it was in the early 80s, he started something called a STAR program to recognize teachers that went above and beyond and that were excelling. And then that later started recognizing students who were achieving. So he was really big on educational excellence. And again, a champion of the students, and he believed that students that were excelling, they deserve that recognition, and they also deserve to be rewarded. And I think that was probably the genesis of the Educational Foundation and what is today the A. Mickey Church Scholarship Fund.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
What a legacy to leave. Thank you for sharing his story and sharing some information about him.
Sure.
What was his involvement in the Educational Foundation? You kind of explained a little bit about how that
so
got started.
from what I understand, in the early mid-'80s, he started the STAR program, and it later evolved with the help of the board and some of his staff into the Cleveland County Educational Foundation. So from what I understand from there, I think Dr. Litton After my dad was no longer the superintendent, Dr. Litton kind of championed the program and was able to kind of grow it into where it is today, along with help from the other board members. But they started a golf scholarship program where they held a golf tournament, and the funds that were raised went towards the Cleveland County Scholarship Foundation. And that started in 1997. So Phil Wallace was really instrumental in getting that off the ground, along with other businesses and members of the community and support from the board. So it just kind of evolved from there, and there's a lot of folks that have done an incredible job of taking that foundation and really making it into what it is today.
And that golf tournament happens still today.
Still today.
Still a
It
great
sure does.
event.
It is.
And we're so appreciative of what it does
Yes.
for our students in this community. And what a legacy for those to be named in his honor. How does that make you feel? That many students, those several hundred students a year that are receiving a scholarship in memory of your dad, in honor of your dad.
It's humbling.
Yeah.
I mean, it really is. To think that the community is still honoring my dad this many years later, I can't put into words how much I appreciate that. And I'm really happy that Phil Wallace has gotten me involved here in the last couple of years. But there's some great leaders on the board of the foundation that, again, have kind of kept his memory alive. And not only just that, but they've grown the program. I think it was just mentioned that the scholarship now is $1,000, up from
Yes.
$500 a year, so
Yes.
they've doubled it. And you know, it would be great to see that go to $1,500, $2,000, maybe more. We know there's a lot of inflation out there, and the students feel that impact. But yeah, it's incredible what the foundation and the board members, businesses, and the community have been able to do.
It is. It's amazing. Have you been able to attend a banquet?
I did. Yeah, my wife and I
okay.
were here last year and got to
Great.
give out several scholarship awards to students. And the highlight of my year probably is just seeing the faces and seeing the students' faces, but also seeing the parents
Oh, yeah.
and the pride that they had in their students, which is well deserved and rightfully placed.
So if Dr. Church were involved in the foundation today, if he could see what he got started,
Right.
what do you think he would have to say about things?
I think he would be so pleased to see how far it's come. I think he'd be so pleased to see how many students are being recognized and rewarded. I think he would really get a kick out of seeing how many businesses are contributing to this, and individuals, and how community individuals and the board have all kind of come together to grow this and to reward even more students than he probably ever imagined would receive this kind of reward and recognition. So he would be impressed for sure.
Well, it is impressive. And what a legacy, what a wonderful thing he started that many years ago. And we just appreciate you, appreciate your family, and what all you've done for education in Cleveland County.
Well, we appreciate the foundation and the board, and look forward to supporting it in the years to come.
All right. And thank you for being here, for making the trip today to talk to us.
Sure.
We appreciate that.
My privilege.
All right.
All right.
And thank you for joining us for this edition of School Matters.